food labels are very important, especially if you're eating any kind of form of processed food. It's impossible to avoid processed food in our culture. Even things that seem like is minimal processing is still a process. If I take apples, chop them up, blend them, that is mechanical processing. Even though there's no sugar added, no water added, nothing, it's just chopped apples, I have to put a label on it. That is processing. So there are varying degrees of processed food. Some that's just like, really, it's no big deal, to I don't even know how this is still technically classified as food anymore. Big old gray area of processing. So when you read a food label, it's not just the macronutrients, the carbs, the proteins, the fat, the fibers, the things that are in like the label and have the numbers, but the ingredients is where really the story lies. What people often are surprised to see is that the ingredients list at the very bottom, where it's just all of the big words that no one can pronounce, first and foremost, you shouldn't be eating that stuff, because if you can't pronounce it, you don't want to put it in your body. But in that ingredients list, the order in which the ingredients are written is the order of concentration. So if I have a thing of ketchup, the first ingredient is organic tomato concentrate. Well, I would hope ketchup is predominantly tomatoes. But if you look at certain, I guess, popular brands, like if you look at Heinz 57, the second ingredient is high fructose corn syrup. That thing is almost half sugar when it should be mostly vegetable. It is mostly, I'm sorry, tomatoes are fruits, but when it should be mostly tomato, it is almost mostly sugar. And that is where many people get into pitfalls eating processed foods, is they don't realize just how much of the concentrations of the foods that they're eating are predominantly sugar. It not only makes foods more palatable, but it makes them addicting. There was a study once done with mice given a two things of water that they could drink from. One was sugar water, one was either cocaine or heroin in it. And the mice voluntarily chose the sugar water over the hard, so hard illegal substance, because when they did scans of the mice's brain, their pleasure center lit up just as strongly from drinking the sugar water as it did with the cocaine water. So sugar is very much an addictive substance, just as bad as cocaine or heroin is. If you're having normal, naturally existing sugars like cane sugar, yeah, it still lights up your center, but not to the nth degree like high fructose corn syrup does, because it's so concentrated and dense. It is so palatable. It's almost as bad as any other addictive substances you could get into, like cocaine, smoking, alcohol, gambling, whatever. So if you see high on the list is sugar, you're better off just avoiding that food, period.